Oh. Hello and welcome to Field Study, an exploration of food and the landscape. So as you can see around me, it is a really beautiful wintry day today. So yesterday was the first frost that we had of the season, and when it froze hard. So the ground didn't thaw all day yesterday. There's frost layered on top of yesterday's frost today, and everything's fringed with beautiful white crystals. So with that being said, I'm going to take you on a walk and introduce you to a plant that can be foraged even now in the midst of a deep freeze. Stay tuned. So the plant in question is this, which is gorse, which is a rather aggressive and spiky looking member of the pea family. So instead of leaves, it's covered in these dense clusters of really rigid spikes. So if you look closely at these lovely golden flowers, you'll notice that they have the very distinctive shape of a pea flower. So it's similar to your runner beans, your broad beans, your peas, everything like that. So it's got that very distinctive pea-like flower. And it's the flowers that we're really interested in when it comes to this plant. The rest of the plant, as you can imagine, being so spiky, is inedible. Now the interesting thing about this plant is that it flowers all year round. So as you can see, it's flowering now. We're in December. You'll find it flowering in the summer. So it is forageable any month of the year, which is fantastic. Different bits of a clump will flower at different times. So you'll always have, if you find yourself a gorse patch, you'll always have gorse flowers handy. Now one of my favourite things to do with this is to make gorse sugar. So what you do is you forage yourself a big bag of gorse flowers, and then you take them home and dehydrate them. Once they're dehydrated, put them in a pestle and mortar or a blender and mix them in with some caster sugar or some raw sugar, or even some coconut sugar if you've got it, to really up that coconutiness. And yeah, and just grind them together. And then what you're left with is this delicate, nutty, coconutty, sort of tropical sugar that is fantastic on top of any confectionery. So you put it on top of shoe buns, on top of donuts, it is lovely. Or if you top a crumble with it, it's one of them things that is super delicate, super easy to make, and it really elevates any dish that you put it on. Other things you can do with this, you can make gorse syrup, you can make gorse wine, you can infuse gin with gorse flowers, and it turns it a lovely blush yellow colour. It's like sunshine in a glass. So this plant really shines when you introduce it to sweet recipes. Now gorse ice cream is potentially one of the greatest substances on the face of the planet. So if you've got an ice cream maker that's sat in your house doing nothing, go out, grab some of this. So make the ice cream mix as you would, and then put a little bit of coconut milk in, not too much, and then go heavy on the gorse, or make a gorse syrup and then put the gorse syrup in it, and it is lovely. If you put it with vanilla ice cream, it'll be the best vanilla ice cream you've ever tasted, and it's absolutely fantastic with a mince pie at this time of year. So go out and make yourself some gorse ice cream. You will not regret it. So this is a very common plant in the uplands of Britain. So all along downlands, chalk downlands on moors and stuff, you will find gorse growing. And if you've ever read Thomas Hardy's Return of the Native, you'll know that one of the characters becomes a furze cutter when he loses his sight. And now, furze is another name for gorse. So this is the furze bush that he then takes up an occupation of going to cut. So traditionally, furze or gorse would have been cut because it's highly flammable as a plant. It's got lots of oils in, so when you dry this out and burn it, it burns fast and it burns hot. So it was cut to be used in the brick kilns of England. So all of the red brick houses and stuff that you see around and about, they used to use this to bolster their fires in the brick kilns to bring the temperature up so they could bake the bricks. I've also heard of it being tied to the end of like a broom pole and used to clean chimneys as well. That's quite a nice use for it. And there's no two ways about it. This is a little bit invasive in its habit. So it will make huge clumps on the side of downs. Sheep like to shelter behind it because it forms such a thick barrier, but because of that reason you'll see that people burn gorse in order to preserve the grasslands. And that's a tradition that goes back quite a long time. On the Isle of Man they used to burn the gorse on May Day, and there was a local legend that witches lived underneath the gorse bush. So you used to burn it in order to get rid of the witches and the bad spirits. So if you don't have access to open downland like this, you can buy big bags of dried gorse flowers on the internet. So I'll leave a link in the description below so you can get your hands on some and have a little experiment. So there we go. Even when the world is a frozen winter wonderland, there are still beautiful things for you to go out and forage. The sun's just burning through the cloud. Look at that. So thank you to everyone that joined in on the live foraging walk that I did last Sunday. I will be doing more live foraging walks over the next few weeks, so stay tuned for that. So make sure that you're subscribed and keep an eye on the community posts for this channel, because I will be letting you know the day before when I'm going to do the next one, so as many of you as possible can join in. Thanks for watching. I'm going to go home and warm my hands by the fire before they fall off. I think Fern's had enough. You ready to go? She's ready to go. Come here. Are you ready to go? Should we go home? How are your paws? Oh, cold paws. Cold paws, little dog. So if you enjoyed this video, click the thumbs up and hit subscribe for more foraging videos and recipes from this beautiful landscape. Until next week, take care. Come on in. Good girl.